Hello, thanks for joining me. My name's Pete. I'm the account manager at Sendible, and today we're going to be talking about doing a deep dive into handling undelivered posts within the Sendible platform. If you haven't been here before, I'm often joined by a support member of staff as well. This week that's Sarah. Um, Hi, Sarah. Hi, Gwen. Like I said, I hope everyone's doing well. Um, if you have any questions that's related to the webinar as we're going through it, you'll see just to the right of where the chat box is, there's a little questions box. If you can click on that and add any questions that you have whilst we go through it, that'd be great. Like I said, try and make them pertinent to what we're discussing here. For those that have been before, we often like to, we always like to start the webinar with a icebreaker question. So today's icebreaker question, I thought I'd go a little bit different, mainly because in the West End in London, there's a show of Back to the Future, the musical. So this one's all to do with time travel. And the question is, if you could go back 10,000 years and draw something that would confuse people in modern times on a cave painting wall, what would you draw? So I would actually. Oh, awesome. Great to hear, Gwen. I'm looking forward to seeing it when I do go. I would draw a picture of a iPhone or a Walkman with like the 1980s Walkman with the headphones on a cave painting on a wall, if I could do that, just to completely confuse people in nowadays time as to why there was a Walkman on a wall drawn by a caveman. So just wondering what everyone else's ideas would be. A hashtag, nice one, Gwen. I love that. That would totally confuse people. Anyone else like to offer a car? Nice one, Missy. Anyone else? A fridge. Yeah, we could even go with a pint of milk, which would even confuse people more. Because it could be, yeah. The word TikTok. Nice. Hi, Melody. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. So yeah, like I said, what we're going to be looking at today is the undelivered messages within Sendible. Oh, what's that? Oh, beer. Oh, yeah. Or a pint of Guinness. That would be really confusing for them, wouldn't it? But I'll beer in the fridge. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, what we're going to be looking at is the undelivered messages within Sendible. What they are, why they happen, what to do with them, how to try and avoid them as well a little bit. So I'm going to be talking to you for the next like 10 or so minutes, and then we're going to be joined by Sarah from the support side of things to just talk about some of the common errors you may have seen within the platform as well. So before I get into it, it's important to understand why these sorts of errors occur in the first place. So I'm going to share my screen here a second. There we go there. Awesome. So this is, as you're probably aware, because you're here on a Sendible webinar, the Sendible platform itself. And the way that Sendible actually speaks to third parties, if we go to the profiles, this will make a little bit more sense here. So obviously, Sendible communicates to these third parties such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google My Business, etc. And the way we speak to these is through an API, which is basically a communication method that these parties provide Sendible. And they go, you can post to us on our platforms using this connection method. There are certain stipulations that you need to make to make sure that it actually occurs, okay? And you need to make sure that your users follow to make sure the posts go through, okay? Now, sometimes when these things aren't followed, the posts bounce or get undelivered, and they don't actually go through fully. And when that happens, it can be really frustrating, totally understandable. So we've done a number of things within the platform to try and ensure that these things can be avoided as much as possible. And you'll often notice these when you go to the compose box, because as generally this is when these things happen. And when you go to the compose box, depending on which profile you choose, you'll see different limitations occur. So for instance, if I was to choose my Instagram business profile here, come on, and I start creating something, we'll see that we get this little red triangle. And obviously, posting to Instagram, it's saying here that we need to add a media because Instagram is a visual platform. And it's, you need an image if you're going to post to Instagram. So we've popped these within the platform here to try and make things easier for you. Another example of this would be Twitter. So with Twitter, it doesn't necessarily show straight away, but here we go. If I remove this, saying contents required. So we've added these in the platform to try and make things a little bit easier and to ensure that your posts don't fail, because obviously we want your post to fail because we want you to be successful on social media. Unfortunately, though, sometimes these things do happen. Now, these things can happen from two different camps, essentially. You have, on one side, you have the things that happen from a platform basis, which we can help you with and try and ensure that you avoid those things. And then the other side of things can be to do with the actual social networks themselves. As I was saying, when you've got a profile, we speak to Facebook, for instance, and go, hey, Pete wants to post to this Facebook page. Is that all good? Now, sometimes that connection can drop, and that can cause a post not fail, or there can be some other issue going on with the network itself. As I said, there's other ones where Sarah will be going through some of the most common ones for you. But from a Sendible, from what we can control, these are some of the common issues that you may see. So when you go to the send option for your post, you can see that I've got all my sent posts here, and ideally these things would have gone out, but they didn't. And the way they ended up to was in this undelivered section here. Now you can see what we've done is basically we've got this little pink highlighted option, and in here it generally gives you an issue, the reason why these issues occurred. Now this one here says it appears to be an issue with your message. Please schedule and try again. Now with this, what this means is that basically with the video, because I was trying to post a video, this video that I was trying to post in was too long. So Sendible Instagram has a limitation where the video needs to be a maximum of 60 seconds, but in fact it's actually 59 seconds because they're very particular about things. So always try and post a video less than 59 seconds and you're going to be golden. This video I posted was nearly 2 minutes, and this is the reason why when I posted it, I had this error occur here. This one here, I actually managed to try and post to Instagram without an image attached. I'll go through how I did this in a second, just in case you actually ever come across this. You understand why this occurs and what happens. And then this one here, this is actually one of the more common ones you'll see where it's saying Twitter, Facebook, etc. is experiencing a connection issue. Please go and follow this information and reconnect your services, your profile. Now, the reason why this happens is that basically the connection between Sendible and the third party has actually dropped off. So if you see ones like this, always try and follow this little link here, and then you'll be able to reconnect your profiles so you can post through. So as I said, we've got this issue here where it's saying that you couldn't post because there was no images attached. Now, as I just showed you a second ago, if we go to Instagram, and I go to test, post something, I go to test, automatically I get this little message here saying that I need to post something. But what we do provide is you can actually save this as a draft. So say, for instance, you were going, this is the best Instagram post ever, because you want to spell it like that, because you're hip and cool and down with the kids. You can then save this as a draft post. Now, these little indicators here only actually happen when you're in composing the post for the first time. If you schedule a post or you save a draft, these little indicators unfortunately don't occur then. So if I close this down and I go to my drafts option here, we can see that I've got this is the best Instagram post ever. And if I go to edit this, even though I've got Instagram here, it's not bringing up that little warning sign. So what I could do is I could actually post this. And I can do that by clicking on send now. And if I look at my sent post, we can see that the post has gone out. And then when we come to the undelivered one here, we can see that no media has been attached. So there's little things like that can trip you up. But always, if you notice that the post hasn't gone out, just come to the undelivered section here and you'll be able to look through these things. The one thing that will happen when you actually have these posts not go out, you'll actually receive a little error message in your emails telling you that the post was unable to be sent, with also the reason why. So if we look at this, we can see that, and unfortunately, we've had some trouble delivering the following message. Did a little there. You have not provided any media to post. Please attach the media and then try again. So what we can do is we can come back to this post, click on repost, go to our library, and then either upload or go to something that we've attached before. And then when we preview this, we can see that that's what it would look like when it actually went out. And we know that an image is attached. So when we send now, that would actually go through without any problems at all. Cool. Sarah, are you around? Here she is. Hey, Sarah.
Hello. Thank you so much, Pete.
No worries.
So I would like to touch on some common undelivered areas that we have seen quite recently. So let me share my screen. Okay. So I want to take a look at this particular one for Instagram. So we've seen this quite frequently, very recently. It seems like Facebook or Instagram has become more restrictive. So the error message that's being returned is Facebook has restricted the use of this account. To resolve the issue, please contact Facebook directly. So essentially what this means is they want you to go onto your Instagram app on your cell phone directly and then check for any messages. Recently, we've noticed that some people are being asked to enter their age. So once you actually enter your age and you hit submit, you'd be able to post successfully to Instagram. We also recommend at this time that you want to perhaps post some posts natively so that you don't run into restrictions, because sometimes you just allow like a third party to do your post continuously. Facebook or Instagram, they become very restrictive and then preventing you from posting that way. Then there's another message that we've seen quite recently, well, quite often, should I say. So this is for Facebook. So it's the user must be an administrator, editor, or moderator of the page in order to impersonate it. If the page business requires two-factor authentication, the user also needs to enable two-factor authentication. So that's a lot of information over there, and that can be like really confusing. But essentially, all it means is that perhaps you do not have admin permission any longer on the page. Maybe the person that connected the page to Sendible has left the business, and now all your basic pages become disconnected. So the first thing you want to do is head over to the Facebook page and ensure that you have admin permissions or full access to that particular page. We've also seen it where Facebook just wants you to go ahead and enable two-factor authentication. And when you do that, your post goes out successfully. So just to walk you through the steps that you will take when you head over to Sendible, what you want to do is you want to come over to profiles, to the My Profile section, and to that particular profile that's been returned that error message. You will just click onto the name of the profile over here and basically do a reconnection. So in this section over here, you want to ensure that firstly you are logged into the right account that has the admin permissions, and then you will select the edit section over here. So always ensure to do that. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you select all over here. Now, I totally understand maybe sometimes you don't want to add these pages that are all into Sendible, but not to worry, you won't add any page without your permission. And the reason why we ask you to select all is to ensure that the connection between Sendible and Facebook is stronger, so that you don't run into any frequent disconnections. So once you've done that, you just click on to next and make sure that all these permissions are turned to yes, and you click on to done. Okay, and then update the account, and then that will successfully reconnect it, and you should no longer have an issue with that. Then we also recently updated our undelivered articles. So what you want to do is you just want to head over to the Sendible help desk, and if you type in this section over here, undelivered errors, a range of the undelivered errors will come up. So here we have LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, WordPress, Facebook as well. And if you find perhaps that your undelivered error is not in this article, you can definitely reach out to us and submit a support ticket. There's a link actually at the end of the article that you can just click on and we will get it. So, just to explain a little bit further, in these articles, there's an explanation and then there's a solution. So we'll explain why it happened and the solution, what you need to do to get it fixed. Okay, so I think there was a question.
No, that was me. Just adding the link to the support.sendible.com where people can find that link there. So
okay, so yeah, that's basically what I wanted to cover. Unless you want to add anything else, Pete.
No, so just to clarify, because obviously, like we said, we have seen it quite often when people go to connect their account and they just choose different ones when they're going through. So selecting all doesn't actually add all the pages to Sendible at the same time. It's more just talking to Facebook and making sure the connection is correct. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Awesome, great stuff. Cool. So yeah. I can't see any questions. So either we've done an amazing job at delivering everything, or people are just being too shy. So does anyone have any questions for me and Sarah today? No, doesn't look like it, Sarah. Oh, Gwen's typing. No, explained really well. Happy days, great stuff. So please, we're going to give you back some of your time. Thank you again for coming to join us today, guys. Let's have a look at what the next webinar is. So the next webinar is next week. You'll be joined by Heather and Patrick, who'll be talking through the calendars, how to use the calendars, what they can be used for. Because you'd think it's just, I've got a calendar, I know what stuff's coming up, but it's actually a lot more in depth than that. So please join Patrick and Heather next week as they go through that with you. But if you don't have any other questions today, guys, thank you once again for joining us, and stay safe. Thank you. Oh, Missy is typing. Oh, thank you. Cheers, guys. Stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.